Hey there and welcome to Hardcore Sustainable. Well, it's been kind of a long time coming, but I finally got a new wood stove. When I built this house and finished this house, I originally had wanted to get this stove here, which is a Jotul 602, and I happened to come upon this stove that was almost an exact replica, not quite as efficient as this one, but yeah, it's a Waterford, I think 125 or 105. I can't remember the number. Anyways, pretty much the exact dimensions, but did not have this nice window at the front here and slightly different aesthetically. But ceramic coated and still beautiful. I came upon that one and it was only 175 bucks. So that was a lot cheaper than buying this one, which is 1,000. So I stuck with that one for a while, and recently Wisteria Lodge, the other house that I own, I kind of realized that the stove I had in there was less than ideal. It was sort of like a stove that you might get at a hardware store, so just not very good quality, not efficient, and just potentially even dangerous. So I just decided to finally get rid of that. I moved my stove that I'd been using, the Waterford, over there, so that that tenant can use that stove, and it's working really well over there. I think it's nicely sized, and so I bought this Jotul for here, and so now I got to break it in. I think it's going to be really nice aesthetically. It's a little different, all black cast iron. It's got this nice little cooking surface up here. Yeah, it actually has kind of a system under here that can like re-burn the smoke, so it's much more efficient than the other stove that I had. But a couple of days ago, I lit a fire to break it in. You have to like start out with a small fire, then work up a little bigger and get the stove hotter and hotter, because you don't want to just like light a big fire in here and get it really hot when you first bought it, because it was just manufactured. It needs to sort of like adjust to temperature changes. So that's what I've been doing, and this is going to be my second fire in here. So I'm supposed to get it up to like 300 degrees. I don't actually have a thermometer, so I'm just going to light a fire that was a little bigger than the one that I had before in here. And yeah, it's really nice. It's got this nice little window here. It's got the damper right here, and it's just very simple. And the size of the stove is pretty ideal. I can't remember what I think it's sized for about 600 square feet, and this house is about 450. So it's not too much bigger than the size of this house. So I think it's going to be nice. It's probably going to be comparable as far as the way that it heats the house to the Waterford, because it's about the same size and the same size firebox. But we'll see. It might actually burn more efficiently, so it might be require less wood than the other one. So I don't burn the color print, just the black and white, because I don't know what kind of chemicals are in the color print, and it's just not recommended here at Dancing Rabbit that you burn paper with color. And these are just oak sticks from the local furniture maker. Mennonite Furniture Makers in Memphis, Missouri, Oakwood Industries. That's actually who I want to buy some dining room chairs from, because they make really nice furniture. Good, long life, quality Oakwood furniture. And locally made. I don't know where the wood comes from, but anyways, we get all the scrap wood from them and process it to be kindling. Burns pretty hot, so it's not the best for a regular fire, although they do have bigger chunks that I use for heating, but mostly just use these oak sticks for kindling. And I made a trip last week to Bloomfield, Iowa, which is about 40 miles away, to buy this from an Amish business. I went up there, and it's a big Amish part of the state, and it was pretty cool Amish store where they had wood stoves and other sort of like piping, things like that, like a bunch of different kinds of things that they sold there. But you gotta love those Amish businesses up there. I can't believe how immaculate the places are, how much merchandise they have, and they're doing this, you know, without I mean, they're doing it without vehicles, but they do have people that they pay to move this stuff for them. But it's hard to believe that there's so much of a market up there for this stuff that it can support those kind of businesses. But that's pretty cool. It didn't cost that much in the DRVC fees to drive up there, pick this up. Probably would have been a lot cheaper. It was a lot cheaper than it would have been had I had it trucked here from somewhere. So it worked out pretty well. But it was a little bit of a hard decision to make because it was about $1,000 for this. And that's a lot to spend when I know that I want to like get some furniture for my dining room table, and there's other things that I could be spending money on, and just felt like this was a long time coming, so I might as well take the plunge and spend the money. And another thing that I'm doing is getting the stove to off gas, because yesterday when I lit the initial fire, there was definitely a smell, a sort of crazy smell in here that was not pleasant. So I opened up all the windows, and that's part of this breaking in process as well, is off gassing. So you can kind of see some kind of stuff burning off of the surface of this trivet here, this plate. I'm not sure what that is, but it's definitely not smoke coming from inside the stove. Although there is some smoke, it looks like it might be coming out from this area. I can't tell if that's coming out from a seam in the stove or if it's something like in the solder that's being released, like a chemical, and that's the off-gassing that's happening. So I'm gonna open up the windows and get everything aired out while I'm heating this stove. It's kind of a rainy day and it's cold, and Banjo just wants to curl up in her bed. But once I get this thing going, she's probably gonna want to sit in her chair right in front of it. She loves sitting in front of the wood stove. And in my opinion, it's just so much more pleasant to sit in front of a wood stove that's heating your space and stay warm right there. I mean, it's just so cozy versus having some kind of central heat system where you might have a register that's putting out some warm air, but you don't really have something to gather around and sit in a nice chair. Banjo likes to sit in front of the wood stove as well and just relax and eat your dinner or read a book or whatever you're doing. It's just kind of pleasant to sit in front of a source of heat like this. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the Hardcore Sustainable Facebook page. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and share and give a thumbs up to the video. See you next time.